You know what's funny, guys? Just really funny. I've come on here, and I'm sure a lot of people have come on YouTube and other places, and have talked about the fact that it seems Windows or other software conglomerates or softwares out there, Microsoft in general, they just can't help themselves, can they? The reason I bring this up is because way earlier this year, not even that long ago, but basically earlier this year, Microsoft decided to go what is known as update crazy. It's like you couldn't turn on your laptop or your PC that had Windows 10 on it without seeing an update. It's like you just could not do it. Almost every day, well, I wouldn't say every day, but it's almost like every other day or every few days or even every week, you couldn't turn on Windows 10 without seeing a message pop up saying update required, or going to the little Windows icon in the bottom left-hand or right-hand corner of your screen, clicking on it to maybe shut down your computer or put it to sleep, or whatever you decide to do, and see the word update right next to the word shutdown, or update right next to the word restart. It's like you couldn't get away from it. Now, I will give Microsoft a lot of credit, and the Windows 10 team behind it a lot of credit. I know they got a variety of versions of Windows 10 to work through. I know that. I know they're supposedly getting everybody ready for the big October 2018 update, which by time frame perspective could be coming out at the beginning of the year or around that time. I mean, take a look at the May 2018 one. That didn't come out until August, about 4 months later, on the March to May 2018 one. That didn't come out till around August. So don't be surprised if the October one, if it's going to affect or be utilized or updated on all versions, don't be surprised if it don't come out until the beginning of the year, maybe February. But like I said, it seems Windows couldn't help themselves back then a couple months ago or several months ago. Now, like I said, I give credit to Windows 10 and the creative staff and the programming staff, because with the variety of versions of Windows 10 they have to work through and update, I will give them credit for at least living up to the word by saying that one of the updates they will apply will basically make any future updates seem small and quick. In other words, it'd just be a little tidbit here and there and you'll barely notice it. Well, that's exactly what happened, of course, this past Tuesday. We had what was known as Patch Tuesday, right? We had Patch Tuesday. Well, that's cool and everything. Just a little patch here and there, add a few things, real quick, barely noticeable. Didn't even say, oh, here's the percentage of, the update. It didn't even do that. It didn't even show you what the percentage was before or after you started your computer back up. It just went like that. It just went like that, period. However, though, that's one thing, and that's okay. However, it seems Windows, again, is still having some problems. Microsoft is still having problems with Windows 10. Because apparently, according to a report, they had to basically, this past Friday, re-release an update they released just recently, back, I think, in November. Yeah. They had to re-release an update, a patch update, just a patch update, if you will, that they released back in November because they either added something to it or they screwed up on it. We're not really sure, but they re-released it just, I guess, for precautionary measures. I don't know. And here's what's funny. I turned on my computer this past Friday after I got home from work, and everything seemed fine. But just out of curiosity, I decided to go to the Windows icon and click on it, and lo and behold, what did I see? Not even 5 minutes after I check it before, and it just says shut down and restart and sleep. But what do I see instead? I see the word update right next to it. So I figure, okay, I've given my computer plenty of time to stabilize, do its thing, be on a regular run, if you know what I'm saying. So I decided to shut it down. Thinking, okay, I'll let it update, see what's going to happen. And it goes through its normal prompts when you're shutting down for an update. It takes a bit longer, whatever, but it doesn't say, the percentage. It doesn't say getting Windows ready for update or anything like that. It doesn't say that. Instead, it just goes to a longer shutdown procedure, and then it shuts down. Then, after I wait a few and turn it back on, it takes a bit longer because it's just shut down for an update and it's getting itself up and ready for the update, whatever. So I go through the regular prompts that we all do sometimes when we turn on our computer. Let it turn on, give it time, go and do the password or whatever it is, passcode, password, whatever. And then, lo and behold, after I let it run a bit, after I go through the prompts and everything, let it load up, kind of do its thing, kind of give it a few minutes, I go and check again, and on the second time I check, once again it says update and shutdown. So I'm thinking, what's going on? So I think, okay, I'll give it a bit to settle in, kind of get into a more regular beat. That's what I do. And then I go and click again, second time, on the update and shutdown. Let it shut down so it can update. And then wait a few, turn it back on, let it go through its prompts after it does an update and everything. After it does an update, go through its prompts. Put in the password and stuff. Get onto the menu. Get onto the regular menu screen, screensaver, whatever you want to call it. Wait a bit. Let it get into its regular groove. And then I go and check again at the Windows icon. And this time it just finally says shut down, sleep, and reset. Or restart. It doesn't say update anymore. So, what do I naturally do? Just to make sure nothing is screwed up, and this is a recommendation on my part, I shut my computer down again after it's gone through its prompts and kind of settled in a bit. I shut my computer down again, wait a few, then turn it back on, and to make sure it's going to run fine without any problems. Because I don't know if it's just me, I don't know if any of you have dealt with this, but it seems every time we update and shut down, we choose update and shut down when that comes up, it seems that our computers lag a bit. So basically shutting them down kind of helps them out a bit because it kind of regulates it. But like I said at the beginning, it seems Windows and companies like them, Microsoft and companies like them, cannot help it with their software. Doesn't matter if it's Mac or Linux. It doesn't matter if it's Mac or Linux or whatever. It's like they can't help themselves. It doesn't matter if you have a Dell computer or a Google Chrome laptop or an HP computer or your own custom-made computer for gaming or business work or whatever, or personal use. It doesn't matter. It seems that if you put Windows 10 in there of any kind, it cannot help itself. It cannot help itself with the Windows updates. It can't help itself, period. And here's the thing, like I said, I give credit to the Windows programming team. They are doing their best to make sure that these updates are quick, efficient, and to the point. They're not bothersome. They're not an annoyance. So I give them credit for trying to, fix that. But the reason I bring this up is people shouldn't have to update twice in a week and then basically update twice in a row on the same night because you guys are trying to re-upload or fix a problem or potentially prevent a problem that you should have made sure wouldn't happen in the first place. I'm just saying. But anyway, again, I give them credit for trying to improve and make sure that the updates, small or big, are quick, efficient, and to the point. But if you're going to do that, you need to make sure that that's the only update you do for that month. Because if people have to constantly look on the window, constantly look at their computers and go to the shutdown and go to the icon that allows them to shut down the computer for the night or whatever, and then they see that for the second time that week, and then they try to shut it down and let it update and then turn it back on, go through the prompts, everything, and then see it again a second time or a third time, and then after the second or third time, they let it go through its process, that finally the third or fourth time they turn it back on, everything's regular, and then just to be safe, they have to shut it down again to make sure things aren't lagging. That shouldn't be happening. So again, I give credit where it's due. They are doing what they can to improve. But if you really want to improve on your customer service, make sure that you only have one update, and you make sure that that update is fully ready to be loaded or uploaded to Windows 10 for people to use. Okay? People don't have to keep constantly going to the computer twice in a week, and not twice in a row in one night, and basically having to choose update and shutdown because you might have potentially screwed up, or you're potentially trying to make sure screw up don't happen. So that's all really I want to say on it, guys. Let me know what you think. Have you guys dealt with something like this recently or in the past? Comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will talk to y'all later.